I start cooking when my husband leaves work, giving myself 30 minutes on the clock. Tonight we're having homemade hamburger helper. Let's see if I can beat the clock. It's no joke that we are making hamburger helper. So for the first person that comments, dude, you made hamburger helper. I know. My husband and I were talking about what we wanted for dinner tonight. And the poor guy has just been craving this for so long and I've been turning him down on it. So tonight's the night that we get to have it. Going to just start out by browning my hamburger meat. I'm also going to season with this Kinder's buttery garlic and herb. We have a toddler in our house. She doesn't like a ton of seasoning, but this is a seasoning that she tends to eat better than others. We'll continue to season throughout for all of those seasoning haters out there that think that I don't know how to season, which I don't. I'm from the Midwest. Use whatever you have. This does not need to be overcomplicated. I did not start dinner right when my husband left work tonight. I was working on something else and got a little bit distracted. So I'm still going to make this under 30 minutes, but I'm not going to beat them walking in the door. Now that my beef is brown, I'm just going to pull this off. We're so lucky to have homegrown beef, but I don't want all the extra grease. Let it drain off into a paper towel. I'm adding a small drizzle of olive oil. I have 4 cloves of garlic and 1 really small yellow onion. We're gonna let these soften up just a little bit, so just 2 minutes or so. You don't want to burn the garlic, so be careful. Be very careful. Burnt garlic is awful. I could have made this easier on myself by adding the onion and then waited and add the garlic, but I like a challenge, if you haven't figured that out. Or if you're new here, I really like a challenge. Stir this continuously. I like to saute my onions and garlic separate from my meat. Gives me a chance to drain that beef off. Now add the beef back in. Grease. We had quite a bit pool down in there. Get this mixed together. My heat is about medium, and I'm going to add in 2 to 3, 4-ish tablespoons of tomato paste. Whatever looks good. Should probably do less with a toddler who still has a pretty sensitive tummy. Stir this together. You want to get your tomato paste really good and mixed in, and just let that cook down. Once your tomato paste has sauteed for a second, you're going to add in 3 cups of beef broth, roughly. We're eyeballing. I have to hand wash all of my dishes. We do not have a dishwasher, so I'm not getting a measuring cup dirty. Stir this together really well. Also adding in 1 cup of heavy cream. Bring everything to a boil before you add your noodles. This recipe is inspired by Here's Your Bite. Absolutely love her videos. Please do go to their video. It's way better than this one. I'm not a cook. I'm just here to show you what it's like to make dinner real life on a weeknight. Now we're ready to go ahead and add in 1 pound of shell noodles. The only thing I could find at the store was large shell noodles, so we're using large. You could definitely use small shells. And you want this to boil, I think she says 16 to 17 minutes, and I love how specific that is. I'm totally not a specific person. I'm actually gonna add just a little bit more beef broth in here. I want my noodles to be submerged. We're going by feel. There's nothing exact in this kitchen. Also gonna give this just another bit of seasoning. I don't wanna overdo it. At this point, it's kind of laughable. I think I wake up every morning to another hate comment about either my hair or seasoning, and my husband and I have made a joke of all of it, so thank you guys for feeding our conversations. You can season your food to your liking. If I ever invite you into my kitchen, then absolutely I'll season to what you prefer, but this is for my family, so we're gonna eat what we want. Since most people don't believe that you eat vegetables unless you physically show them vegetables in your meal, I am gonna show you that I'm also putting together a little steamed broccoli and cauliflower on the side. Nothing fancy here. I bought a bag of broccoli and cauliflower for some stir fry that we didn't end up making this week. We had leftovers 2 nights in a row, which was phenomenal. And I just want to use this up before it goes bad. I have a couple of inches of water in my steamer pot, and I'm going to add this on top, season with salt and pepper. And then I've got a little butter trick that we'll do at the end. Because who likes steamed broccoli? We all like buttered broccoli. It's way better, I promise you. Steam this until it's nice and soft. Proof that the crew made it home. I'm so glad it's Friday. This first full week of 2026 has been wild. The very last thing that we're going to do is add 1 to 2 cups of shredded cheese. You don't want to add too much of this at one time or you'll shock the system and you'll end up with a big clump of cheese. I have my heat off. This is plenty warm. It's still going to melt right in. Start out with a nice bit like this. And then we'll add the rest of our cheese. And for my steamed vegetables, my broccoli and cauliflower, all that I did when those got nice and soft and vibrant, so I shut the steam off and then I dropped in 2 tablespoons of salted butter right on top. It's gonna make them so perfect. And here's the final. It's still piping hot, but probably burn my mouth. Now that it's cooled down, I can actually take a bite of this. I love that these large shells, the beef kind of like gets trapped inside, so you get a perfect bite every single time. And then add a little bit of cauliflower and broccoli. Lucy, high five.